The CR-V was produced exclusively in a 5-door version. Moreover, the assembly of the car, except for Japan, was carried out in Canada, for the North American continent. Most often there are Japanese. The body structure can somewhat disappoint lovers of strong cars. The parquet orientation with the head gives out the absence of a frame and even subframes. But the galvanized body perfectly resists corrosion. So long. In the 4th year of life, they decided to rejuvenate the model somewhat, which resulted in a slight restyling of the exterior and interior. The post-styled version is easiest to recognize by the niches for fog lights in the front bumper. The more sophisticated will notice a revised grille, different bumpers, and an antenna that has been moved from the front fender to the roof. Minor changes have taken place in the cabin. The front seats received more developed lateral support. New colors appeared in the decoration. By the way, lovers of sitting in nature will find a useful option in all versions of the CR-V. A folding table is hidden under the trunk lid, which closes the underground niche. Some owners may be concerned, noticing that the previously flawlessly working air conditioner no longer maintains the desired temperature. And at the service station they assure that the unit is correct. The reason is that the cabin filter becomes clogged and does not allow cool air to pass through. The manufacturer recommends changing this part every 30,000 kilometers, but in our conditions it is better to do this after 10 to 15,000 kilometers. There are no complaints about the electronic stuffing of the car. Engine and transmission. The first generation Honda CR-V is one of the few cars that have only one power unit in service. All the consumer can count on is a 2.0-liter 16-valve petrol engine. But you shouldn't be upset. The engine is very successful. The menders of specialized service stations note that, in addition to changing the oil and the timing belt, they hardly had to do anything. By the way, the original belt lasts a long time, up to 100,000 kilometers. The initial engine power is 128 horsepower, with, a little later, by installing an intake manifold of a different design and reconfiguring the engine management program, it was increased to 146 horsepower. See, acceleration from 0 to hundreds takes only 10.5 seconds. It's just better not to save on oil. High-speed Honda engines do not forgive careless operation. And for a caring owner, the motor will faithfully serve more than 300,000 kilometers before overhaul. The car was equipped with 5-speed manual and 4-speed automatic transmissions. In the Ukrainian market of cars with these units, approximately equally, experts have practically no claims to both types of CP. The manufacturer recommends changing the oil in the automatic transmission after 80,000 kilometers, but our masters advise doing this after 40,000. In the mechanics, such an operation will be needed only after 100,000 kilometers. The transmission raises a few minor remarks. In many instances, the gearbox creaks in the rear axle. The problem is solved simply. It must be washed with a special liquid. Much more serious troubles in some cars occur after 200,000 kilometers. We are talking about the failure of the front cross of the cardan shaft. The latter is non-removable, and in the event of a breakdown, you will have to change the cardan entirely. By the way, to be convinced of the mediocre off-road capabilities of the car, it is not necessary to climb under the bottom. Having made a small revision of the interior, a fan of mixing dirt will find the complete absence of a transfer case lever or differential lock buttons. In normal mode, the CR-V behaves like a front-wheel drive car. 95% of the torque is sent to the front axle. When the front wheels slip, an electronically controlled automatic clutch engages the rear axle. It also turns on when reversing. Suspension. The lack of a frame, the independent suspension of the front and rear wheels of the car, the vulnerability of the chassis nodes to all sorts of surprises off-road, all this does not favor driving through valleys and hills. However, on paved roads, the car demonstrates excellent handling and stability, which off-road monsters like the Nissan Patrol or Toyota Land Cruiser never dreamed of. Moreover, even on our roads, the suspension is able to serve for a long time, on average, 150,000 kilometers, go silent blocks of trailing arms in the rear suspension. The manufacturer supplies them only assembled with a lever. The spare part costs about $300. Although, if you wish, you can save money by looking for a separate non-original part for only $45. Shock absorbers are also highly reliable. The front ones on many cars, even with a mileage of more than 200,000, have not been changed so far. The rear will require replacement by the thousands to 150. Steering. Power steering is also sometimes costly. At about $80,000, the tie rod ends fail. The tie rods themselves will last a little longer. Brake system. The brake system will require attention after 40,000 kilometers to replace the front brake pads. Rear drum brakes will make themselves known only after 100,000 kilometers. Buying a Honda CR-V can be recommended to car enthusiasts who often drive in the city, and if they leave it, then not to climb into the forest, lay trails in the sand, or participate in rally raids. In addition, it should be taken into account that spare parts and maintenance of this SUV are expensive.